Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to discuss about the key management in terms of symmetric key distribution. So before knowing what is this key management, we know that we have two different types of keys. One is the private key, the other one is public key. And in cryptography, we also have a symmetric key and asymmetric key. So we know that a symmetric key is where there exists only one key which is used for the encryption purpose, and the same key is also used for the decryption purpose. So this is what we call it as a symmetric key. Say for example, where A and B are two different users, where A generates a cryptography using key called as K1. So the same K1 is also shared with B, so that B will be able to decrypt the message which is sent from the A. So when two different users makes use of the same key to perform encrypt and decrypt operation, then this is what we call it as a symmetric key. Then asymmetric key is where two different users, they do use the two different keys at both the ends for performing the encryption and decryption operation. Then such key management system is what we call it as a asymmetric key cryptography. Say we again have Alice and Bob at two different ends. Now Alice is going to generate a message using K1 and generates an encryption message called as EN. So an encryption message is being generated using a key called as K1. Now Bob does not make use of K1 to perform a decrypt operation. Now Bob is going to have his own key called as K2, and with the help of this K2, Bob is going to generate decrypted message which is sent from the Alice. So this is what we call it as a asymmetric key cryptography. So now dealing with the key management system. So the purpose of this key management system in crypto system is this helps in dealing of generation of a key, exchanging of keys, storage of keys, how the keys has to be used, and how can you make a replacement with respect to keys. So this is the primary factor or the function of your key management. And the other important factor where your key management also does is it includes a cryptographic protocol design. It helps in key servers and also helps the user procedure and also helps to develop the relevant protocol. So here what we do is we are going to make use of a symmetric key distribution where it shows two different parties that which have a symmetric key agreement protocol to create a session between themselves without using the services of a method called as KDC. So we have an option of a KDC. KDC is nothing but key distribution center. I'll let you know about this key distribution center later. Now what we are going to discuss is how do we share these secret keys? How do we manage and handle these secret keys, especially in terms of symmetric key distribution? So we have a symmetric key distribution. In order to perform a symmetric key distribution of keys, what is the first thing that we do is, say we need to share a secret key between two different parties. Assuming that we have two different ends, one is Alice, the other one is Bob. Now, as a part of it, if Alice wants to exchange a message with n different people, Alice is a user who would like to exchange a message with n people. So Alice needs n different symmetric or the secret keys to be generated. So if he wants to send it to the n different people, then Alice would have to generate n different symmetric or secret keys. In case if there are n different peoples who would like to communicate with n different individual to each other, n different people would like to communicate with n different people, and they should have to have an each and one-to-one communication between each and n. So in that case what we have to do is, so you need a key. We are supposed to calculate a total number of keys which is required is n into n minus 1 divided by 2. This is the amount of keys that which is being required for a n different people to communicate with each other. So how many number of keys we have to generate for n number of people, where n number of people wants to communicate with each other, then this is the amount of key which is being required by n number of people. So this is specially for bidirectional operation, and this normally is referred as n square problem or n to the power of 2 problem. This is what we call it as n to the power of 2 problem. This type of distribution of key is a very difficult and challenging part. So what we do is, in order to overcome this problem, because see here we have n people and n people have to communicate with each other, then how many number of keys we have to generate? We need n into n minus 1 divided by 2. This many number of keys is being required for establishing a communication with each other. In such case, what we do is, we are going to take the help of a third party, trusted party. We call it as a third party, or it is also called as trusted third party. So one such trusted third party is your KDC. KDC is nothing but key distribution center, where you are going to make use of your symmetric key distribution center. So what we do is, the key distribution center, that is your KDC, is a practical solution where you can make use as a trusted third party. To reduce the number of keys, each person establishes a shared key with the help of your KDC. So what happens is, now Alice would like to communicate with all of them. So what Alice does is, Alice is going to send or request a message to the KDC and send his own key to KDC. Now KDC will be able to share the particular key of your Alice and share the same key back to the Bob, so that there is a communication happening between the Alice and the Bob with the help of the KDC. Very similar to that, now Anne wants to make a communication between the Bob or the George. So what Anne does, Anne is going to share his key or her key with Bob or the George with the help of the KDC. Now KDC acts as a trusted third party service provider, where they keep track of all the different keys, symmetric keys, which are being sent both from the sender end as well as the receiver's end. So KDC helps in exchanging of these keys, which is sent either from the sender's end or from the receiver's end. As I told you, the key factor in key management is in generation of the key, exchange of the key, and storage of the key, replacement of the key. The entire service is being taken care by your KDC, where your KDC is nothing but key distribution center. So now what is the process that is involved in your KDC? Now let me take that, as we know that Alice sends a request through the KDC. We have a diagram which we have seen here. Now, as Alice sends a request to the KDC stating that Alice would need to develop a session, a temporary session, and create a secret key between Alice and the Bob. So now Alice is going to request KDC and wants to share a secret key between the Bob. Now what Alice does, Alice is going to share the secret key with the help of your KDC to authenticate and send a request to the KDC, so that indicating that she is a valid user. What Alice does, Alice is going to send a request to the KDC authenticating herself that she would like to send a message to the Bob by sharing her secret key as well. Now the second part is, the KDC informs the Bob about the Alice request. Now Alice has made a request to KDC by sharing the secret key and by authenticating herself that she wants to send some message to the Bob. Now what KDC does, KDC is now going to communicate with the Bob that there is a request being sent from the Alice. Now what Bob does is, Bob is going to agree and authenticate then sends the secret key with the KDC. Now, as Alice sends a request by authenticating, now very similar to that, the Bob would also wants to authenticate and then send a message to the KDC by sharing its secret key. Hence, there is a session being developed between the Alice and the Bob. I'll just repeat this. Now, Alice sends a message to KDC or request to the KDC that Alice would like to communicate with the Bob, where Alice herself first of all has to authenticate that she is a valid user by sharing a secret key. As a part of it, KDC sends a message to the Bob that Alice would like to communicate with you. Now what Bob does is, Bob is going to agree for the KDC and authenticates herself by sending her secret key, so that a session is being established between the Alice and the Bob with the help of the trusted third party. So this is how a key management plays an important role. So we have two different types of KDCs. One is flat multiple KDC, and the second one is the hierarchical multiple KDC. Well, let us look into that. Flat multiple KDC. With respect to the flat multiple KDC, when the number of people uses a KDC, it supposed to be increases. The overload of your system just increases. The system becomes very difficult for managing whenever the KDC just increases. To solve this problem, what we do is we are going to divide into the community into the domains. Each domain has one KDC. Now let us assume now Alice is considered as one domain and Bob is considered as another domain. Alice contacts her KDC, which in turn contacts with the KDC of the Bob's domain. The two KDCs can create a secret key between Alice and the Bob. So here you can notice that you have KDCs in between. So what they do is Alice access one domain and Bob access another domain. As a part of it, Alice is going to communicate with her KDC, as well as Bob is also in turn Alice is also going to contact with the KDC of the Bob for exchanging the secret key. Very similar to that, Bob also communicates with Bob's KDC, and in turn Bob also communicates with Alice KDC, so that they would interact with each other. So this is what we call it as flat multiple KDC. Now Alice would like to exchange a message with the Bob. So what Alice does, Alice is going to exchange the message or contact with her own KDC, as well as Alice is also going to make a communication with the Bob's KDC. In turn, Bob will get a request from the KDC. Now Bob is going to communicate with or contact her own KDC and also communicate with the Alice KDC. So that's how the secret keys are being shared together, so that it helps in performing an encryption operation and decryption operation more securely, efficiently, and effectively. The next one is the hierarchical multiple KDC. With respect to a hierarchical multiple KDC system, it basically has one or more KDC at the top of the hierarchy. Let us take an example. If Alice and Bob's are in two different countries, now what Alice does is Alice sends a request to her own local KDC. Here she has her own local KDC, and which relays the same request to national KDC, where this national KDC will forward the same relay back to the international KDC. The request is then relayed all the way to the local KDC of the Bob, so that there is an exchange happening between the Alice and Bob with the help of KDCs. So we have, I'll just repeat this. Now, in terms of hierarchical multiple KDCs, Alice would like to send a message to the Bob or share, make an communication or establish a communication with each other. So what Alice does is, Alice is going to send a request to her local KDC. The same request has been forwarded to national KDC, and now the national KDC will transfer into the international KDC. Now international KDCs will send the request all the way to the local KDC where the Bob lives, because they are in two different countries, so that a proper exchange of communication happens using your symmetric key. And now, so you have a session keys with respect to your KDC, where your KDC creates a secret key for each member, and this secret key can be used only between the member and the KDC and not between two different members. And we have to remember that a session symmetric key between two parties are used only once. It cannot be used multiple times. It can be used only one time. Thank you.